Hi, my name is Drew Hayes. I was a Naval Supply Corps officer, and this is my transition story. There's a lot of adversity that goes into getting out of the military, and I think the longer that you're in, the harder it gets too. Depending on your career in the military, you could leave and have all this responsibility, know exactly what you're doing all the time. Everybody knows you at the command. You're well liked, have a good reputation, and then it's just gone. And to a certain extent, people care that you were in the military, but they don't care that much because it's your life. And so you almost expect that people are going to offer you jobs as soon as you get out. Because you're like, I have all this experience. I did really well in the military. Everyone's going to care about that. But, I mean, there were companies that I interviewed with that I thought I had in the bag. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to rank me, they're number one. I wasn't even on the ranking sheet because there's so many people who are qualified for specific positions. And that humbles you. I mean, that definitely makes you second guess, am I doing this right? Maybe I should have stayed in for another couple of years. My big thing was culture and how the employees are treated. And I think that all stems from the Navy. And I saw that the most successful units or commands or divisions were the commands that had a really close-knit group of people, and they listened to their sailors, in this case their employees. That was what I was looking for in companies, is a company that really valued their employees. And I saw that right away with Power, and it was something that definitely sparked my interest and made my decision a lot easier. I didn't expect the syllabus that Clayton and the PVI team put together to be so structured, and that's what I really appreciated. We went through a week of Zoom calls with VPs. We met the CEO, we met the founder, we met basically everybody you can possibly think of in 4 days. I mean, they answered all of our questions. Everyone was very genuine and wanted to learn from us and hear our stories, and then also talk and brag about what their jobs are and why they enjoy their time at Power. And that's really what it was. I mean, it was a lot of Q&A and a lot of conversations that we fellows didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. We didn't know what it was like to be a civilian. We didn't know what it was like to work at Power at a home remodeling company. And then after that, we went through 2 weeks of customer development training and then 2 weeks of sales training, which really helped funnel us into the positions that we had initially interviewed for. So after the 4 weeks of training, I went through another 5 or 6 weeks of just PPM training and learned the business in that sense. But it was the weeks prior to that that really helped me understand the backbone of the company and how a project comes to life. And so that helped a lot. It was very structured. With the fellowship program, we had a Friday huddle every week. So you would hear what we did that week and what we liked and what we didn't like. And it was clear that Power had a more structured schedule than a lot of other companies. I think we were the only ones who met our CEO on the second day. I think we were the only ones who met every VP on the third day. And so it was pretty clear that Power had this fellowship program down to a T. And we're definitely much more experienced when it comes to evaluating and hiring veterans. You just have to be a student and learn as much as you can. No matter what your position in the military is, if you're an E1 or an 06, you're gonna have a lot of leadership experience at each level you go through. And so use that leadership experience at certain times. Know that you and have the confidence that you're a leader and that you have the ability to manage, but also realize that I don't know anything about remodeling homes. And so if there's a 22-year-old here who's been working here for 6 months, I'm gonna listen to them because they know what they're talking about. No one wants to meet somebody who's gonna go in and try and change everything and try and give someone advice when they don't really know what they're talking about to begin with. Just because I managed X amount of people doesn't mean that I know how to be a successful manager here on day one, which is a great opportunity. It's 12 weeks to just soak in as much information as you can get. It's basically like being in the military, your first command or wherever you go, or going through boot camp, you're just learning everything. And I think the ones who are not as successful went in with the expectation that the company really, really needed them. And they do, they need them, but there's a lot of people out there who can be really successful. They're looking for people who want to learn and not change everything as fast as they possibly can. The more questions you ask, shows you're interested. And as soon as you're interested, people are like, okay, now I want to teach this person, because they have a vested interest, and they want to be successful at this company.